Last week I inspected a roof on a bank that looked like it might just need a few repairs. I noticed a couple missing shingles from the road, some missing ridge cap shingles, some nail pops, wind damage. And if those were the only problems that I had found, there's a good chance that I might have recommended repairing the roof instead of replacing it. But when I got up on the roof and I looked really closely at the shingles, I noticed that there was a bunch of micro fractures, like tiny cracks in the shingle matting itself. Not just one or two, they were showing up all over this roof. And that's the problem. Once an aging roof starts showing widespread deterioration like that, then I have to ask a completely different question. If I repair the obvious problem I can see today, what about all the problems that I can't repair? That's the difference between a roof that needs a repair and a roofing system that has actually reached the end of its useful lifespan. And if you're trying to decide whether to spend a few $100s to repair, or a few $1,000s maybe, or potentially tens of thousands of dollars in replacing it, I want to show you how I go about making that decision and recommending it to the homeowner. I'm Rich, and this is Homeowner Roofing Academy, where my goal is to help homeowners make confident roofing decisions, whether you ever hire me, meet me, or not. So let's get back to the bank roof for a second. You could tell that when this roof was installed, they used a quality shingle, and honestly, it had done its job. But shingles don't last forever, as anyone knows. As they age, they lose granules, the asphalt ages, the shingles can become more brittle, and eventually you can begin seeing cracking and other signs of deterioration. That's what concerned me about this particular roof. If all I had found were 2 or 3 missing shingles, I could replace those shingles, no problem at all. If I had found a nail pop, I could address the nail pop. If I had found like a flashing issue, all of those things I could repair, but I can't individually repair widespread deterioration across an entire roofing system. And that's the first major distinction I want homeowners to understand. A repair fixes just a very localized problem, and a replacement addresses the entire roofing system that's failing or approaching the end of its useful service life. So when I'm deciding between repair or replacement, there are several things that I look at. First, is the problem isolated or is it widespread? So let's say that your roof is 10 years old and generally looks fantastic, but the rubber boot around one of your plumbing pipes has deteriorated and you're getting a leak in that area. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need a new roof. We may just need to fix the pipe boot, change out the boot, and everything's fine. Same thing with a few shingles damaged by a tree limb or a small isolated flashing problem. That's very different from seeing deterioration across the entire roofing system. And that leads to the second thing. What's the condition of the shingles surrounding that area that needs repair? Because technically, I may be able to repair something, but that doesn't necessarily mean I should recommend that you spend money doing it. If the surrounding shingles are badly aged, brittle, cracked, heavily deteriorated, or difficult to manipulate without causing additional damage, I need to take that into consideration as well, because I don't just want to ask, can I repair this? I want to ask, is repairing this a wise use of the homeowner's money? Those are completely different questions. Third thing, how old is the roofing system? So age itself does not automatically determine replacement. Age gives me context. If you've got a relatively young roof that's otherwise performing well, I'm going to look very hard for a reasonable repair before I tell you to replace the entire thing. It just doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. But if you've got an older roof that's already showing widespread deterioration, now the economics start changing, which brings us to number 4. How many repairs are we talking about? One repair is one thing, but if you repaired a leak 2 years ago, another one last year, replaced some shingles 6 months ago, and now you're calling someone again, we need to have a conversation. At some point, you're no longer maintaining a good roofing system. You're putting money into a roofing system that's telling you it's near its end. And here's where I think contractors need to be really, really transparent with homeowners. Sometimes there's no single right answer. Let's say I can repair your roof for $1,500 and I think there's a reasonable chance you'll get another couple years out of it. But replacing it costs $18,000. Which should you do? Well, I need to know more about you, not just your roof. Are you selling the house next year? Are you planning to stay there for 20 years? Is it your forever home? Is money tight right now? Is your budget available to redo the roof? Are you comfortable potentially making another repair later? Would you rather replace it now and have the peace of mind of a new roofing system? Those things matter. My job isn't necessarily to make that decision for you. It's not at all to make that decision for you. My job is to give you enough information that you can make it confidently. And that brings me back to that bank. Could I replace those missing shingles? Sure. But after seeing the overall age, the granule loss, the wind damage, the missing shingles, the nail pops, and especially that widespread cracking, I wouldn't feel good recommending that they continue putting money into isolated repairs without understanding first the condition of the entire system. That's why my recommendation leans toward replacement. Because when I put all the evidence together, replacement appears to make more sense than continuing to chase individual problems on an aging roof. And that's what I want you to remember. If a contractor tells you you need a new roof, do not be afraid to ask. Why? Is the problem localized or is it widespread? Can it be repaired? What's the overall condition of my shingles? If I repair it, what can I reasonably expect from the remaining roof? A good roof professional should be able to walk you through all of those questions, because sometimes the right answer really is, don't replace this roof, let's fix it. And sometimes the right answer is, I could easily repair this, but I don't think putting more money into this roofing system is the wisest decision. That's the distinction. And that's really what Homeowner Roofing Academy is about. I don't need you to become a roofing expert. I want you to understand enough about your roof to ask good questions, understand your options, and make a confident choice. So if you're trying to decide whether to repair or replace your roof, don't start by asking how much money is a new roof going to cost. Start by asking, what is actually wrong with the roof that I already have? Get a thorough inspection. Ask them to show you what they found, and make sure you understand why they're recommending what they're recommending before you spend thousands of dollars. And if that's the kind of information you're looking for, subscribe to Homeowner Roofing Academy. Every week, I'm going to take another question homeowners are asking about their roofs and give them the advice I'd give my own family. So no pressure, no sales pitch, just honest roofing education to help you make a confident decision. I'm Rich. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. God bless.